deal that was made with Greenland, so they're going to begin hunting humpback whales again. This was really to prevent them hunting more bowhead and fin whales, but it's bad news for the humpbacks, obviously. Norway, so they're hunting the minke whales, so they have quite a big quota, they don't always reach it. Japan this year was out whaling, and they managed to get 500 which were recorded. And then Iceland has begun whaling in 2006, which is a real shame because they had stopped for 20 years. But you can see that there's some pressure being put on several countries now to begin whaling. So this year last year they managed to get 150 fin whales. So that's just some facts about whaling. But what are we going to see? So the good news. What are we looking for out here? So this is where we are. We're in the North Sea. So we've gone from down here, and we're going up here. So we're kind of crossing from southwest to a more northeasterly area. And if you can see from this chart, it's showing you the depths here, and the colours correspond. So this is the continental shelf, which I spoke about earlier. And this is where we are. So we're down over the continental shelf, not off it, in really shallow water. And if you heard the captain this morning, he was saying we're in about 40 metres, I think. The North Sea is universally shallow. It works out at about 90 metres on average, but that's because there's a drop-off here off Norway, a trench that makes it slightly deeper, but usually you're in around 40 to 60 metres. So it's a very shallow sea, very young and very shallow, like some people you probably know. That's how I remember it. But the reason this is because this sea formed after the last great glaciation. It flooded an area of land, so there was a land bridge where people and animals could walk across. And of course, I expect you've all heard that the trawlers still managed to dredge up and trawl up the tusks of mammoths, and that's because once upon a time they were walking across there. But because it's shallow, it does make it an interesting area. Lots of light gets through to have extensive kelp beds, which are like the living forests in the sea, very similar to the rainforest we have on land. But it also means it does affect what we are most likely to see. And I say likely because nothing is ever definite at sea or with wild animals. But I will tell you a little bit more about that. The first thing that we're going to be looking out for is the smallest one, so the hardest one to see. It's the harbour porpoise, called the harbour porpoise because they're found in harbour and coastal areas in shallower waters. But as I've just told you, the North Sea is shallow, so we can see these throughout the North Sea. And in fact, we saw them at 7:24 this morning. And as you know from the captain's announcement, we are quite far away from land. So we saw two of these swimming very close to the boat and had fantastic views. They are very small, 1.5 to 2 metres. The exciting thing about this time of year is that they do congregate into big schools of dolphins, because they are from the dolphin family, although they are different. They're called porpoises. And what they do this year is they all get together for a little bit of social activities, and you can just use your own imagination for that. But usually they go around in groups of between 2 and up to about 12. Of course, this time of year, they've also just had their calves, so we're getting to see lots of baby porpoises swimming very closely to their mum. But the way to recognise them is they're usually swimming not to the boat like the dolphins, they'll be swimming either away or alongside, and they have this equilateral triangle dark dorsal fin here. And really all you usually see is them rolling over. They don't often do the acrobatic activities that some of the dolphins seem to love to do. So if you see something very dark with a triangular fin, just rolling over a couple of times, disappearing, very much likely to be one of these animals. The differences to dolphins is they have different teeth and they communicate at a much higher frequency. This is one of the smaller dolphins that we're looking for, the common dolphin. In the winter, they can be seen close to shore, but this time of year, exciting again, they can be out to sea, and they do get into what we call superpods. These pods can go up to 5,000 individual animals. So if you're looking out to sea, it's very much like dolphin soup out there when that happens. The biggest ones we've recorded in the North Sea so far, I think, were 500 altogether. The way to recognize these animals is they're very fast, very active. They have this lovely kind of yellow hourglass, a yellow front pattern and this hourglass-like pattern here. This can be yellow to brown, almost to very pale. But they're ones that regularly come and bow ride the ferries. Another dolphin that's very common in the North Sea, and we have some populations that are pretty much resident or semi-resident. We're still trying to find out about the winter. But these are very stocky, powerful dolphins, and they have this very dark black dorsal fin on their back and this lovely white saddle area. Because as you can imagine, you don't see these animals like this. You see them a little bit more like this. So I'll just try to give you the identification for when you're all out on the bridge helping us to look for them. These are fantastic. They will come over, they will bow ride the ferry. So that's the wave that the ferry makes as it's moving through the water. They will come and try and ride and basically play in it. They also do lots of tail slapping, and they will also breach as well, which is when they leap out of the water. This is another dolphin, slightly bigger. We're going slightly bigger through this. It has quite a nice straight, slightly hooked dorsal fin here. Very thick tailstock, but look at this. They have the yellow on the back, so that's a really good identification feature, whereas the commons had that colour at the front. But these are bigger, more active. They can do a lot of acrobatics, and a really robust dolphin.